Hi guys. So I just wanted to share a little story with you about how the mind works so that maybe this can help bring you some relief too. So I had an awareness that I was caught up in punishment thinking. So whenever I'm feeling a really strong emotion, I'll always turn inward, maybe do a little meditation or journaling or ask, what is this? What am I caught up in that looks real? Because we're always experiencing our thinking that turns into feelings and that we project it onto the outside world. So I was feeling an intense amount of anger and rage. And I thought, well, what is this? And it was a sense that I felt like I needed to punish people with my thinking, either myself or others. Like if I'm just pissed at you and mean to you, maybe not even necessarily outwardly, right? I know we can all relate to this, but like, screw you, you're wrong, you're mean. And, it showed up in my relationship where I'd mumble stuff, but then I'd mumble it loud so he would hear. Like, this is ridiculous. Or something like that, like unnecessary stuff. So I always tune in because I'm like, this is off. This is happening a lot. This is off. What is this? And I thought, what are you doing? You're trying to punish. And the only reason thought forms hang around is because we think they're useful. Otherwise, we'd have this inner flow of thinking. Like with children, it's like temper tantrum, leave, or whatever it is they're experiencing, right? So if I wasn't holding on to something and I didn't think this punishment thinking was useful, it would boop and boop, right? And I'd be on. And maybe my wisdom would say, you need to talk to this person about whatever's going on. Or my wisdom might say, it's not a big deal. You were caught up in thought, right? But we can't hear our wisdom when we hold on to really heavy thinking that we think is doing something for us. But thinking can't do something for us. And I'm going to show you proof of that right now. So the way I was able to help myself see this, and this is what I would love for you to explore with whatever your thing you're caught up in, or maybe you're trying to punish people in your brain too. I had to show myself, okay, so you think you're punishing somebody, is this useful? So my boyfriend, for example, ruminating in the head, saying stuff out loud, withholding love, not speaking, whatever ways that we try to punish or hurt someone else for hurting us, or that's what we perceive is happening. I said to myself, okay, so while you're ruminating, sometimes he's upset, but sometimes he's happy. So I might still be ruminating or pissy or throwing a tantrum inside, thinking I'm punishing, and he could be off playing the guitar in a totally neutral space. Or he could be upset. Like he's in fluctuating states of being like every human is. But I thought, well, that's so interesting because if he's happy, how can I actually be punishing him? I'm not. We can never actually punish somebody, or our thinking doesn't do something. It's just us feeling it. So I'm having punishing thoughts, feeling them, thinking they're doing something, so they stay and they ruminate. Until one day I wake up and I realize that it's happening. I'm just caught up in that type of thinking. And again, very human. I'm not saying you need to do something about it. It's okay to feel the anger. But then if it just continues, I wake up to going, wow, if he's happy when I'm still trying to punish, or if he's neutral, or if he's going through a fluctuation of emotions, I'm not actually, that thought or that energy is not actually doing anything to him. Same with I'm holding on to stuff from my past, or things with, I was upset with things with family or friends or anybody in my past, like we all are. Withholding love, being angry, whatever we're doing with them, they're having their lives where some days they're happy, some days they're sad, because they're in constant flux of human emotions. But if my punishment was really working, they would be sad from my punishment or hurt from my punishment thinking their entire life. There'd be a through line. So when we can start to see that little space of, no matter how I feel, they feel whatever they feel and I feel whatever I feel, and my anger or my punishment or my whatever isn't doing anything. It's just a human experience of energy coming through. I feel it and it leaves. So it's okay to have those punishing thoughts, but to just make it like that, punishing thoughts, period. Where my mind learned to go. No information here, not about anything. There's a lesson from the Course in Miracles. I'm never upset for the reason I think. It's just energy coming through. It's where my brain learned to go based on whatever, my past thinking in the moment. But we innocently pin them on the outside world, and then they stay stable. And then if it's punishing thinking, I go, he needs to apologize, or my people from my past need to apologize until I'm okay. Instead of realizing, wow, man, that's heavy. I have compassion for myself. My brain took this thing, grabbed onto it, made it look like the outside, and made it look like I'm a victim to my circumstance, as opposed to, woo, this is heavy energy. This is where my brain learned to go. And when I start to see that it's not doing something for me, it's just spiritual Play-Doh that took form, and that's what my reality looks like, it'll pass. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes, and it's just starting to get really curious about it. So if you feel stuck in sadness, or you feel stuck in anxiety, or you feel whatever it is you feel is ruminating for you, ask yourself, is this doing something for me? And workshop it like I did with my punishment. Is this fear actually keeping me safe from something? Get really curious. Ask yourself, is this the truth? Because you might fight back at me and say yes. But look at instances in your life when you felt fear and the situation was awesome, or you felt fear and the situation was shit. And your mind's going to look for proof of what you believe, by the way. So you got to start getting smarter than it and finding ways in. But you know what? You can either live in this, life is short, or you can start to look for ways around it and go, I'm human, I'm going to have my emotions. But some of these things look like they're useful because that's the world we grew up in. Other people do punishing thoughts and think it's useful, but when we realize it's absurd and we're just a little hypnotized in there, we can start to let that flow through us. And then our spirit, our wisdom is on the other side that says, it's all good, or, my boyfriend and I needed to have a conversation. That's what my wisdom said, but you can't see that through the thought cloud of rage or fear or insecurity or jealousy. So no, it's normal to have the flux of human emotion, but it's also normal for it to leave. So if you're hanging on, look to why you're hanging on, and there's so much freedom on the other side of that, you guys. So I hope this was helpful. Be well. If you have any questions, let me know, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.